I need to tell you what happened with my sister after our father passed away. I'm still shaking, even now. My name is Margaret. I'm 66 years old. What my own sister did to me almost broke every belief I had about love and family. You have to understand something first. My sister Linda has always been Daddy's little princess. Even at 62, she still acts like the baby of the family. She's always been the favorite. While I stayed nearby and took care of our parents through illness, hospital visits, and quiet decline, Linda was out living her glamorous life in California. She'd send Christmas cards and call once or twice a year, if that. And yet, somehow, she was still the golden child. When Daddy's heart condition worsened, guess who packed up their small apartment and moved back into the house on Maple Street to care for him full-time? Not Linda. It was me, Margaret, the older sister, the boring one, the one who never really did anything big. I left my part-time job at the library. I gave up my space, my routine, my independence. For almost 3 years, I was there every single day, cooking, managing pills, driving to doctor's appointments, sitting up on long nights, listening to him breathe. Linda would call sometimes, once every few weeks, always with an excuse: busy season at work, flights were too expensive, her husband had commitments. There was always something. But when she did call, Daddy's whole face would light up like Christmas morning. Oh, that's my Linda. She's so busy, such a successful woman. Meanwhile, I'd be there in the corner, spooning soup into his mouth, practically invisible. The truth is, the favoritism wasn't new. It started when we were kids. Linda was born 4 years after me, and from the day she came home, she became the center of everything. She got new dresses. I got hand-me-downs. She got piano lessons. I helped Mom clean. When she wanted to attend a private college across the country, Daddy took out a second mortgage to make it happen. When I wanted to enroll in a few community college courses, suddenly the budget was tight. Margaret's practical, they'd say. She doesn't need all that. That was me. The helper, the caretaker, the one who made room for others to shine. But I didn't resent it. I really didn't. I loved my parents. I loved taking care of Daddy, even when my back ached or I hadn't had a real adult conversation in weeks. Even when I started using my own dwindling savings to cover his medications because Linda was going through a rough financial patch, I thought this was what love looked like, what family meant. And then Daddy died. It was a Tuesday morning in March. I was holding his hand when he took his last breath. Linda didn't make it in time for the funeral. Her flight was delayed. But 2 days later, she was sitting front and center at Daddy's lawyer's office, acting like she ran the place. That's where it all came crashing down. Mr. Henderson, Daddy's longtime lawyer, was a quiet man in his 70s. Looked like he'd aged 10 years just reading the will. He kept avoiding eye contact with me. When he began to read, Linda leaned back in her chair with this little smile, like she already knew how it would go. Apparently she did. Daddy had left everything to Linda. The house, the savings, the pension, even Mama's jewelry, which I'd always been told would be mine. All I got was $100. And Daddy's old pocket watch. I stared at Mr. Henderson like I hadn't heard him right. "This has to be a mistake," I whispered. "I gave up everything for him. I took care of him." Linda looked at me, smiling coldly, a smile I'd never seen before. Not from her. She even laughed. Not a happy laugh. A cruel, dismissive sound. "Oh, Margaret," she said. "Daddy always said you already got your share when you married Robert. Remember? You had your chance at a life. Robert died 12 years ago. We never had children. We barely scraped by. And Linda knew that. She knew I had no money, no home to return to, nothing. But there she was, gloating, smiling. I mean," she said, "you chose to play nurse. Nobody asked you to. I had a life. Real responsibilities." Daddy understood that. Play nurse. That's what she called 3 years of intimate, exhausting care. Mr. Henderson cleared his throat awkwardly. "The will is valid, signed and witnessed last year. Everything is to go to Linda Marie Patterson, with the exception of the items already stated." I left that office in a fog, stumbling out like my legs forgot how to hold me. Decades of loyalty and sacrifice erased with his signature. And then, just outside, Linda said it. "I'm putting the house on the market. Already called a realtor." You'll need to be out by the end of the month. That night, I sat in what used to be Daddy's living room and cried harder than I had since Mama passed. I felt stupid, used, completely discarded. But then, something happened. I was going through Daddy's belongings, deciding what little I could take with me, when I reached for his old Bible. That thing had been beside his bed since I was a girl, pages worn, underlined, filled with notes in the margins. When I lifted it, a few folded pages slid out. At first, I thought they were prayer cards, but then I saw my name. It was another will, dated 6 months more recent than the one read in the office. And next to it a letter. Margaret, it began, in his shaky handwriting. I know Linda thinks I don't see what you've done for me, but I see everything. You gave up your life for me, like you did for your mama. You never complained, never made me feel like a burden. Linda is my daughter, and I love her. But you are my heart. This house should go to the one who filled it with care, not the one who sees it as dollars. I'm placing this here because I know you'll find it, because you'll be the one to look through my things with love. I broke, but this time, it wasn't out of grief. It was relief, gratitude. I had been seen. The next morning, I brought the new will and letter to Mr. Henderson. He studied it carefully. The date, the signatures. He even contacted the 2 neighbors listed as witnesses. They both confirmed that they'd seen Daddy sign it himself 6 months prior. This is legitimate, Mr. Henderson said. It changes everything. That afternoon, I called Linda at her hotel. There's been a development, I said. Her tone shifted instantly. What kind of development? I already scheduled showings for the house. You'll want to cancel them. Daddy wrote a newer will. The house is mine. There was silence, then screaming. She showed up at Mr. Henderson's office looking like she hadn't slept. Hair wild, purse slamming on the desk. This is fake, she shouted. She forged it. She tricked him. Mr. Henderson stayed calm. It's real. The handwriting has been verified. The witnesses have spoken. This is a legal document. Linda turned to me, eyes blazing. You manipulated him, took advantage when he was weak. No, I said. He was sharp when he wrote that. He knew exactly what was going on. She cried then, but not the kind of tears that come from heartbreak. These were the tears of entitlement denied, of a plan falling apart. I deserve half, she yelled. You deserve what he left you, I replied. And he left you $30,000. Not nothing, but the house. The house is mine. She threatened to contest it, hired lawyers, dragged it through court for 6 months. But she lost. Judges don't tend to favor children who abandon elderly parents and come back only to claim their cut. It's been 8 months since the dust settled. The house is mine. Officially. Completely. I've turned Daddy's old room into a sewing space. I started making quilts again. I volunteer at the library. I adopted a little orange cat named Whiskers. For the first time in years, I feel like I belong somewhere. Linda sent me one email afterward, calling me selfish and greedy. I laughed. Me? Greedy? After decades of putting everyone else first? But I'm not even angry anymore. I feel sorry for her. She never understood love the way I did. To her, it was attention, favor, inheritance. To me, it was soup at midnight. It was back pain. It was dignity in silence. Daddy knew the difference. He hid that will in the one thing Linda would never touch, his Bible, because she never cared about the things that actually mattered to him. But I did, and he knew I would be the one to find it. That Bible sits by my bed now. I still read the verses he underlined, still see his notes in the margins. I got more than a house. I got proof that my love counted, that I mattered. Linda got money, but she'll always wonder if Daddy truly loved her. That kind of doubt, it doesn't fade, it haunts me. I walk through this old house, not as the forgotten daughter, but as the one he trusted to carry on what mattered. If you're out there feeling invisible, taken for granted, I hope you know. Love sees, even when no one says it, even when no one thanks you. Love notices, and sometimes, just sometimes, it leaves you a letter tucked inside a Bible.